All right, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for a video on crypto every day. My name's Austin, and in today's video, like always, let's get to our top story of the day. This is breaking news. This information just dropped late last night, and this channel brought it to you first. TD Ameritrade-Backed ErisX finally gets a green light to settle futures in Bitcoin. It feels great to finally have a retail brokerage on our side, on the side of Bitcoin. The U.S. Commodities Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC, has cleared the way for crypto derivatives provider ErisX to offer futures contracts with a new license that was just approved yesterday. ErisX, which is backed by U.S. brokerage TD Ameritrade, announced that the CFTC granted it a DCO license, which is a Derivatives Clearing Organization license. This license, acting as a secondary approval on top of an existing Designated Contract Market DCM license that the exchange already had. So ErisX is good to go, because the approvals mean the company can now launch crypto futures products under the auspices of the U.S. regulator. So big news. This is news that we've been waiting on for well over a year now. If you want to read the official document, I'm going to leave it down below in the description. Check it out for yourself. But for those of you that follow us on our Twitter, then you already knew about it yesterday when we tweeted it out. Breaking. TD Ameritrade-Backed ErisX just got approved to settle futures in Bitcoin. And I'm not an expert. This is not financial advice. But in my opinion, the reason that this is so significant is because unlike what we have now, these futures will force institutions to settle an actual Bitcoin. Bitcoin's scarcity, combined with this new on-ramp, could be massive. I've never seen a more clear buy signal. And this is a buy signal because it's not just TD Ameritrade's-backed ErisX. ErisX's approval comes a week after competitor LedgerX received its own DCM license. Like ErisX, LedgerX has yet to announce a firm timeline for the launch of its Bitcoin futures contracts. And yes, while ErisX is approved, there was no firm timeline provided. ErisX's announcement said it would launch its futures contract later this year. So ErisX is launching later this year. LedgerX is launching their own physically settled Bitcoin futures contracts later this year. And of course, Bakkt, the subsidiary of New York Stock Exchange's parent firm ICE, is also planning to launch its own physically settled Bitcoin futures. And of course, Bakkt is currently waiting on a trust company license from the New York Department of Financial Services. So Bakkt, LedgerX, and ErisX, at least two of these happening by the end of this year, could potentially be the perfect storm for Bitcoin. Because let's not forget this CFTC approval, this physically backed Bitcoin futures. This has been the narrative for at least 12 months. For at least a year, we've been hoping and waiting and hearing snippets and pieces of news on exactly when this will happen. It's happening. And how's the price of Bitcoin responding? Well, we're tanking at the moment. And yes, we might have a little bit further down to go. But honestly, the best time to buy Bitcoin was 5 years ago. Second best time to buy Bitcoin is today. You be the judge. I am going to leave our Twitter handle down below. Give that a follow too. Next piece of news. If you hold Cardano, then this is for you. Is Charles Hoskinson and team IOHK going to leave in 2020? That's a big question. And Charles Hoskinson is one of the original reasons that I chose to invest in Cardano. Well, IOHK, which is led by Charles Hoskinson, is contracted until 2020. Does that mean that it's possible for Charles and IOHK to leave the project next year? I assume that it would have an impact on the price. These are questions that you have asked. I couldn't really find the answer until today. I hardly ever do this, but you know what? When another crypto YouTuber gets it right, he gets it right. In an almost 90-minute interview from Crypto Crow with Charles Hoskinson, Charles answered a bunch of questions on the state of Cardano today. I'm going to leave this full interview down below in the comment section. I encourage you to go over to his channel, give it a like, watch the full thing. There's a lot of valuable info in there. but I just want to play you a less than 30-second piece that answers this question: is Charles/IOHK leaving in 2020?
I just got a super chat question. Pro, please ask Charles what he is planning to do after 2020. Will he stay at Cardano or move on to another project? Contract renewal?
Yeah, so that's actually going to be the community's decision. That's the cool part of that.
Oh, you're not going anywhere then?
Yeah, well, it's up to the community to decide. And so the IOHK will show up and say, hey, we'd like to keep doing what we do, and we'd make the case to the community that we've earned the right to do that. But it's no longer our decision. It's the community's decision. And the only reason we would be replaced is if, honestly, there was better options for the community.
Yes. You know what? Sometimes this channel is going to get it right. Sometimes Crypto Crow is going to get it right. Sometimes Modern Investor is going to get it right. So check out the full interview down below in the comment section. I just wanted to pull out a little clip, but the answer for is Charles/IOHK, are they leaving in 2020? Well, that's up to you. They'll put in a bid, you decide, and honestly, the only way that they would leave is if you picked a better option. And this, to me, is really one of the many things that solidifies one of the many things that I find value in with Cardano. Charles and team trying to decentralize this as much as possible. Just wanted to put this on your radar. But last piece of news. Facebook's Libra Coin inches towards global regulatory compliance, applies for New York BitLicense. The reason that I'm bringing this to you is because get ready for this to be the narrative with Facebook Coin, with Libra, for the next foreseeable future. Because Facebook right now is sort of the guinea pig for regulators in terms of dealing with cryptocurrency that's going to be used by the world. And cryptocurrency in quotes, because Facebook's Libra Coin, more of a Venmo or a PayPal. But here's the news. Facebook's path forward will involve careful orchestration with central banks, financial overseers, and enforcement officers around the world. They will not have an easy road to get this thing approved by regulators. This administrative tightrope walk may involve literally hundreds, perhaps thousands, of licenses from hundreds of different regulators to comply with the countries that they want to comply with around the world. Well, what does Facebook have so far? So far, Calibra, a Facebook subsidiary that will develop a wallet and financial services for the Facebook ecosystem, has registered / talked to. All these different colors represent a different entity. Number one, they've registered as a money services business with the U.S. Financial Crimes and Enforcement Network, FinCEN. They have applied for money transfer licenses in the United States and have began the process to obtain a BIT license from New York's Department of Financial Services. This is what they've applied for / have gotten in the United States. The company has also reportedly spoken with authorities at Britain's Financial Conduct Authority, the Bank of England, and Switzerland's financial regulators, FINMA. Additionally, and this information just came out today as well, the Russian Ministry of Finance just said that Libra will not be banned inside of Russia and will be treated in Russia like any other digital asset with forthcoming regulations expected. A similar sentiment was expressed by Swiss regulators as well. So what's the news? What's the news today? The news that I'm bringing you today is just simply that they have just applied for the New York BIT license, which would be a big deal if / when Facebook Coin does get this. But just know big picture wise, and the narrative that you'll probably be hearing for the next year and a half is Facebook being the guinea pig and setting the precedent of how governments deal with quote unquote cryptocurrency, even as permissioned as Facebook, cryptocurrency from this point on. Despite these steps toward compliance, Facebook will not get a free pass anywhere, said Park. Authorities in Europe, the United States, and India promised a close look at the social media company's proposal immediately after it launched. Singapore's central bank said it requires more information about the project, and the announcement spurred G7 members to rethink how it organizes its cryptocurrency task force. So just know the precedent is being set. As we get more information out of here, I will keep you updated. But they've applied for one more. put it on your radar. And that's the news today. If you found value in today's video, hit the like button, join our team, subscribe to the channel. We drop a video every single day. You do not want to miss one. And like always, I'll see you tomorrow.